The Old WASP Mine is located on the foothill slope of Superstition Mountain on Highway 88, 5 miles east of Apache Junction, 36 miles east of Phoenix. You first enter the WASP Mill, which is located at the front of the property. With the WASP tailings dump in the foreground and the owner's home in the center foreground, the WASP is located on the foothill slope of Superstition Mountain, home of the legendary Lost Dutchman gold mine. The Lost Dutchman mine is not a myth. It's out there somewhere out there. I'm Clay Worst. I have owned the Old WASP Mine for 40 years, but I'll be 90 next year, and it's time. We generate our own power, 3-phase, 480, 240, 120 volts, 60 kW. With everything running, we use 30 kW, so we have another 30 kW for expansion. Public utility power is also on site. The head ore is run over a 3-inch grizzly. 95% passes as 3-inch minus. The 3-inch material is delivered to the head ore bin. The ore drops into a jaw crusher, which crushes it to about 1.5 inches. We have a Syntron feeder, but prefer to feed the jaw crusher manually. The discharge from the jaw crusher drops into a roller mill. The roller mill reduces the ore to about 3/4 inch. The crushed ore is conveyed to the crushed ore bin. Ore from the crushed ore bin is delivered to the feeder of the ball mill. The feeder feeds the ore into the ball mill. The ball mill contains 2,000 pounds of steel balls, which grind the ore to about 30 minutes, about like table salt. The mill has new liners, and there is about 1 ton of replacement balls on site. The discharge from the ball mill passes into a revolving trommel with either 30 or 40 mesh springs. The oversized material, which fails to pass the trommel screen, is delivered to the return auger. The return auger returns the oversize for regrind through the ball mill. This continues in closed circuit until the ore passes the trommel screen. The finished material that is passed by the trommel is sent to a distributor and divided between 2 concentrated tables called rougher tables. The shaking action plus the flow of the water causes the lighter material to be washed across the riffles and into the tailing side of the tables. The heavier fraction containing the precious metal is trapped behind the riffles and carried to the concentrate end of the rougher tables. The concentrate from the 2 rougher tables is delivered to the finishing table. The riffles on the finishing table end in a smooth deck where the final concentration line forms. The discharge from the finishing table is split into a number 1 and number 2 concentrate and middlings. The number 1 concentrate is usually rich enough to direct smelt. The number 2 concentrate is further concentrated at our refinery. The middlings make another trip through the concentrating circuit. Any gold or other heavy metal will resist the flow of water and be held back to the concentrate line on the finishing table. Free gold should be visible to the left in this picture. The tailings from all three tables are delivered to a spiral concentrator to recover any heavy fraction missed by the tables. The discharge from the spiral concentrator is delivered across the small sluice to the tailings auger. At the tailings auger, the heavy sand settles to the bottom. The overflow water is delivered to two steel settling tanks in series. The dewatered sand is augered into the tailings pile and hauled away with the track loader. In the two settling tanks, more of the heavier material settles out. The discharge from the settling tanks is delivered to a plastic-lined mill pond where it further clarifies. This water is recirculated to operate the mill, which operates entirely on mine water. Public utility domestic water is piped to any dwellings on the site. We're pretty proud of our mill. It nicely handles 10 tons in an 8-hour shift, which should be adequate for any exploration work at the WASP. If the WASP is placed in full production, 3 shifts would handle 30 tons a day. The WASP concentrate is direct smelted. The WASP is not in commercial production. What little gold recovered here is only from bulk sampling. WASP ore averages 75% gold, 24% silver, and less than 1% copper. Marketing a doré bar, which we have assayed, gives us a lot better control than a typical marketing of a pickup load of black sand concentrate. The refinery in Phoenix pays us 98% of the gold value. The open pit at the WASP is 60 feet deep. The Mammoth Fault contact, which produced the gold at Goldfield, is visible here on the north face as an almost vertical contact between the red granite on the right and the yellow dacite on the left. The WASP was not significantly developed during the Pioneer era. The Mammoth Mine, adjacent to the north, had 3 miles of underground workings down to the 1,000-foot level. Between 1893 and 1897, the Mammoth produced $1 million in $20 an ounce gold, worth $66 million in today's 2018 prices. The WASP ore chute was not discovered until 1925 at the 1,000-foot level underground by an encroachment from the Mammoth Mine. 111 feet of this encroachment averaged over 0.6 of an ounce of gold per ton. The center 15 feet averaged 1.4 ounces. The face at the end of this encroachment still averaged 3.6 ounces, 12 inches wide. The same ore chute was discovered near the surface by a lessee in 1983. In the open pit shown here, in the top 50 feet, they produced $670,000, worth $2.6 million today. Now understand, this was a supergene surface enrichment, which will not continue to depth. I terminated their lease for non-payment of royalties. When repossessed by me, 5.25 feet wide, assayed 2.2 ounces per ton, and the 3.9 feet next to the fault contact averaged 7.68 ounces. So you have an almost vertical vein with good values at the 60-foot and the 1,000-foot levels. Now, what lies in between? The WASP ore chute has to be drilled and evaluated. Fortunately, the early drilling results may justify further drilling to block out the ore body and to begin an underground mine. So at the WASP you have 4 factors in your favor: the history and the geology of the site, and the fact that it's on private land, free from dealing with the Forest Service or the BLM, and a complete milling and refining facility. I represent the WASP as being at the end of its economic life as a surface mine, which it probably is. I'm almost 90 and will not consider any lease, partnership, or joint venture. I'm a willing seller. The WASP is a very small, high-grade mine. The entire WASP ore chute and the WASP mill are located on 4.52 acres, which is sufficient to completely develop the property. I do own a contiguous 1.86 acres, which have not been explored, and an additional contiguous 1.25 acres contain my home and outbuildings. The WASP has 650 feet of highway frontage, is surrounded on 4 sides by commercial development. I sold 2 acres off the back end of the WASP for $150,000 per acre. The frontage is worth more. When the WASP ore body is depleted, the residual value of the surface could easily equal the original purchase price. My price for the WASP on 4.52 acres is $1 million with a 3% royalty on production. If the buyer wants lots of claims, perhaps the Nevada desert might be a better choice. If you're interested, I can furnish a more detailed written report. The best way to contact me is by phone, 480-982-2671. 7 o'clock evenings, Arizona time, is best. Thanks for watching. I'd be glad to hear from you. The town of Goldfield is today developed as Goldfield Ghost Town, a tourist attraction. Of all the western theme towns in Arizona, Goldfield is the only one built on an original site. The rest are built at random locations. So Goldfield is the only one with historical significance. The WASP is adjacent to Goldfield Ghost Town. Since Goldfield's history is strictly mining related, the ghost town welcomes and encourages the mining activity at the WASP. They are good neighbors. I enjoy living here at Goldfield. I'm where I want to be, I'm doing what I want to do, and I've got good friends and neighbors all around me. I'm richly blessed, and I'm keenly aware of it.